So I uploaded a video recently that talked about how Boris Johnson may be for the chop. Well, while that video was speculation based on information from Dominic Cummings' father-in-law, it seems not to be beyond the realm of possibility, as we have news that Boris Johnson is facing a growing backlash from within his own party. So the pro-Brexit, pro-Tory Express newspaper is saying that a series of U-turns by the government strategy to help the UK return to some form of normality after the pandemic has caused some MPs to question whether the government and Boris Johnson in particular are doing the right job. On Tuesday, the Department of Education announced secondary school pupils in pandemic-hit areas would be asked to wear face masks after the government had insisted coverings would not be mandatory for students. Now, individual ministers, or even groups of them, don't carry a lot of weight. The real people to watch are the 1922 committee. This week, the vice chair, Charles Walker, warned several of his colleagues were left scratching their heads, quote unquote, and deeply frustrated with the constant U-turns by Boris and his government. Now, it's important to remember that the 1922 committee is extremely influential. If we remember back to when Theresa May was Prime Minister, right up to her resignation, she was being shuttled back and forth to the 1922 committee. Now, of course, they don't make official statements, but they do decide who stays on and who is dropped as Prime Minister. They work the levers of power, and they will always put the party first. They have no loyalty to the Prime Minister. So it is significant that the Vice Chair is worried about how the government is acting at the moment. Now, the 1922 committee seemed to want Boris Johnson to return to Parliament and look for advice on how to best manage the crisis with the help of MPs. The committee also said that this is the biggest crisis facing a Tory government since 1939, and that the Prime Minister mustn't suspend the democratic decision-making process. Of course, this is not about democracy, this is about party power over a Prime Minister. The Tories basically handed Boris Johnson a blank cheque on how to deal with the pandemic, and they're worried now that he's been driven by public opinion and better crisis management across the border in Scotland. If you look at how this pandemic is being dealt with, it's generally Scotland leading the way, not Westminster, and the Tory party are not one bit happy about that. Tory MPs want to rein in Boris Johnson somewhat, especially if they want to eventually hang him out to dry. They don't want him handing too much power over to someone else, perhaps the party doesn't know very well. You have to remember that the party decides, but this pandemic has caused the Tories to lose grip on Boris Johnson and the workings of government. Another concern for them is Dominic Cummings. Now, he has been a powerful tool for them, but they're worried that he is beyond their control. There are some in the party who would like to see him gone. Some others want to keep him. Frankly, if I was a member of the 1922 committee, I would make it a priority to remove Cummings as soon as possible, as he has no loyalty to the party and there is no Cummings oversight. There is a real risk for the party that the disaster of Brexit, the continuous fallout from the pandemic, and the UK government's embarrassment of being upstaged by a stronger, more professional government in Scotland will be laid at their feet. They want Boris Johnson to take the blame, and when he is eventually pushed out, they want all of the wrongdoing to be offloaded onto him. But during these times, they have to tread carefully. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?